you got to be careful. Like, understand that these people are creating your culture, right? In the culture, we will all try to, it'll affect us in that way. We'll look at these people and think that this is the standard. I came up with a really good topic that I wanted to share with you guys, and it's kind of an elaboration on some things I was talking about in my stories last night. You know, some people were probably thinking, I mean, I definitely was thinking myself as I was posting it, that there's a little bit of hypocrisy here from my part, which it happens, you know what I mean? I ain't mad at myself, and I ain't mad at y'all for pointing it out, but I have some very, very good ideas about this. I was thinking a lot about it, and about the necessity of those types of things in the society, and how I feel about it. So I'm gonna share that with you. I just want to let a couple people come in. My gang, what's good? What's poppin'? Brand new. I was just watching that little viral video of the teachers doing that What's Poppin' remix for virtual school. That shit was hot. I was really impressed. I'm also in here making some eggs. I'm gonna do some eggs with some spinach. And it's a good motherfucking day, ain't it? Oh man, it's a good day. I started off with a little bit of basketball. Here's my first little quick pro tip for you before we get into this live, right? It's try breaking your days up into multiple parts, right? So much of us think of a day as just one day, and so if you can't like get something done, you know what I mean? Like, so for me, a day has 3 parts: an A, a B, and a C. So my A part of my day is usually my personal development stuff, you know, meditation, working out, getting my mind and my spirit and my body right for the day. And then my B part of my day is what I'm moving into now. My B part usually is my first task, and this usually something on the computer, editing, fixing up my Instagram, or, you know, whatever case may be, whatever I got to do for the day that's, you know, usually internet related of some sort. And then I got my C part of my day, which is like usually working on furniture. This might be another project, you know, so if maybe in my B part of my day I edited something for the tie-dye podcast, then my C part of my day I might edit something for Rodtheplanter, or I might, you know, work on an Instagram post or do something like that, right? And then I have a D. You could even throw a little D in there, and that's when I finally get to my like rest and relaxation time, you know, and that happens for about the last 2 hours of my day. You know, at night you just get tired, you know, you just kind of run out of energy, and you just, I mean, you can only work so much, gang. You know what I mean? So come about like, you know, I try and be in bed by 1 a.m. So, you know, come about 11 or 12, I'll be ready to just kick up, watch a little documentary or something, or watch basketball highlights. I've been into watching basketball highlights lately. I've been watching like Kobe, LeBron. I didn't really watch LeBron actually. Kobe, Michael, Steph Curry, Damian Lillard, you know, whatever. I've been getting into basketball ever since that fucking Michael Jordan documentary. That shit just changed my whole life. So, but yeah, I do something fun. It's even worth noting. I don't even know why I feel like I need to note this. I just like people to know I be out here grinding. Look, see, flexing, I guess, flexing my grind. But I even usually try and watch some type of documentary or something that I feel like, you know, teaches me something about the world. But it's not like study time, you know, it's just relaxing. But, and so that's my day. You know what I mean? That's just a little tip for you guys too, because so many people think of their day as just one thing. So you'd be like, what are you gonna do today? Oh, I gotta go to work. And it's like, but you only work like 4 to 8 hours a day. You know what I mean? So it's like 4 to 8 hours, like that's not, if you work a 9 to 5, that's only like an A, B part of your day, really. You still got C, you know, what you gonna do for your whole C and D? Your whole C and D be, oh, well now I gotta relax because I A and B'd something. You know what I mean? So I think of that, man. Especially I was coaching somebody up in the DMs. I talked about this a little bit, and he was like, you know, he working a job where he works 60 hours a week. And I was like, dang, you know, I mean, trust me, I've been there. But even at 60 hours a week, there's 168 hours in a week. So you still got 108 hours in that week that, you know, you could do things with. And I know you got sleep and stuff, but if you want more, you got to do more. You know what I mean? And so I just don't know. There's no other way around it. You want more, you got to do more, be more, create more. And the excuse of, well, I don't have the time, that ain't never worked for nobody. Like, I've never seen anybody get better off of, well, I don't have enough time. So, I mean, you can keep using it if you want to. I mean, that's on you. So if you don't have the time, well, then you better get comfortable where you're at. So anyways, what the live is actually about, and let me pin it in my comment real quick. Trying not to be a hypocrite here. A hypocrite. I'm trying not to be. But I am. I mean, we all are. So it is what it is. You never gonna catch me beating myself up for being who I am. And you never gonna like catch me letting y'all beat me up for who I am. Right? So I know what I'm doing out here. I know who I am, and I'm very confident and comfortable in that. And so it's like, if somebody comes at me, and this like, let me phrase this too. That girl was not coming at me like that at all. Like nobody said, you know what I mean? Very rarely do people criticize me. So I mean, I'm not saying that that's the case, but even if they were to, I don't care. You know what I mean? I don't care. So it's like, it's whatever. But I do think it's important to note. So I was thinking about this when I was talking about, people flexing too much, or that song being maybe a little too vulgar for my taste or something. I've never been the type of person, and I hope that you guys could maybe adopt this too in your own life, to try and tell other people what they should be doing, right? I know that might seem contrary, because you're like, what are you talking about, Rod? You're always telling me what to do, and I'm telling you what you can do and what could work for you, right? But I don't know what you should do. Like, that's completely on you. You see what I'm saying? So, like, for Nicki and for Meg Thee Stallion and that song, like, I mean, they racked up 110 million views in a matter of a week off that song. So it's like, who am I to sit here and try and tell them that they should or should not be doing that, right? Like, I don't care. I think that people put too much stock on other people and what they're doing, and act like that somehow affects them in their life. You see what I'm saying? So, like, what Meg Thee Stallion and them are doing, like, I don't let my kid listen to that song, right? Flat out. Well, she actually does. She listens to TikTok and shit, so it's whatever. But, like, I would not play that for my daughter or my kids or even myself, But, like, if you jamming it, it's not like I'm over here thinking, like, wow, you're a piece of shit over here for jamming that song. Or, like, Nicki Minaj, man, what a bitch for fucking making, you know what I mean? I don't care. Or it's Cardi B. My bad, it's Cardi B. But I don't care like that. I really don't. And so when you hear me, that's why I very rarely make remarks about what other people are up to, or about my opinion in general, because we're starting to move into a society, a world where it's like your opinion is somehow like your ID. It's like it's your social security number now. It's like, if I have an opinion, this is who I am. Like, this dude does or does not support Black Lives Matter, and that's like somehow an overarching, like, whatever about him. Or this dude thinks this, so he's this way. It's not the case. We all have opinions. We all have ideas. We all have preferences. But I don't give a fuck. I'm not even attached to any of that stuff, And I think when we become attached to it so much, like an idea, that we have to fight against other people to have the right idea or the superior opinion, I think that just fucks us, honestly. You know what I mean? I think it just gives you all this negative energy that anytime you're fighting something or fighting against something, so it's like you're inherently struggling. And so I'm not about to struggle out here for my opinions. Does that make sense? So I have them. If you agree, that's dope. If you disagree, guess what? That's dope too. Like, I assume that you have your own opinions and preferences and ideas, and that's 1000% okay. Like, everybody's allowed to do that. So I don't judge. I do not judge. Like I said, I have preferences, and that song reached a level of vulgarity that I couldn't really get down with, right? And this happens. I would not like that song if it was running around being like, I'm a big dick nigga. Yeah, you fucking with a big dick nigga. I'm about to drop this big, that none of that shit is appealing to me either, right? So, does that make me cool or better or right? No, none of those things. Now, let's talk about it though, a little bit in the sense of why this might be a detriment to our society, right? I don't know if it is. I don't know. But I think that there's some things in the way that we're doing in our world that we're going to come to find out later that, man, we might have wished that we didn't take it that far. You know what I mean? Like, I just think this to be the case. We're going to wish, man, I wish we would have pumped the brakes somewhere on this. I noticed this the other day with my own child, right? So I went out to the Northwoods for a couple, like a week or whatever. No electronics, no internet, stuff like that. And so I came back and I was overwhelmed by the amount of input that I all of a sudden had here in Los Angeles. You know, it was like, DMs and internet and YouTube and my kids running around traffic. And it was just such a different experience, right? And so it was a little overwhelming at first. And I started to see it for what it was. You know, I was talking to my kid and she's like, like this, right? Like I took her to Walgreens and she was talking a lot like I talk. So, I mean, no hate, but she was telling me this story and she was just going on and rambling and couldn't really and I was like, what's the point of this? Like, what are you even talking about? And she was like, well, nothing. And she just blah, blah, blah. And like to the point where I was like, yo, is my kid does she have a spectrum? Like, she on the spectrum here? You know what I mean? She was acting very autistic, in nature. She just she even said, well, this is my ADHD and I can't control it. So I'm like, and I was like, what the fuck is going on here? And then I started really thinking about it. And I was like, man, for my whole life, probably up until the last 2 years, I never really took parenting seriously, right? I was never an involved parent. Some people are like that, where they're just all up in their kids' lives and got activity after activity for their kid and shit. I was more here's an iPad, nigga, shut up. Sorry for that. I didn't mean that like that, but it was a joke. But no, I'm serious. I was I kind of, up for the first 7 years of my kid's life, I kind of let YouTube raise my kid, right? And then in Walgreens the other day, all that came back to bear on me. I saw how my kid was acting and she's talking about, this just the way I am. And I'm like, well, that's never the case. People develop the way they are. And so I was like, I mean, maybe you are like that, but I'm definitely not helping you by letting you just sensory overload. Somebody threw that in here earlier, constantly letting you TikTok and YouTube and play video games. And especially since Corona's popped off, my kid's just been in the house for 6 months probably, just consuming this stuff on a unregulated level. Okay, I'm pretty sure from what I saw from my child having done that, another 10, 20 years down the road, I think we're gonna find out that we wish we would have regulated our use of these tools a little bit better, right? That's how I also feel about this freedom of expression and the idea of, being whatever you want to be. Everybody wanting to, bring out their sexual sides or whatever, or express that, and the idea that nothing is taboo anymore, right? We came from a place where in the 50s where everything was taboo. And I think that was a little too restrictive as well, right? It left no room for people to be unique, right? But I don't think that uniqueness has to come from vulgarity, right? Just being audacious or purposefully off-putting. I don't think that is necessarily equals uniqueness, okay? So when I make these comments about that, this is where I'm coming from a kind of psychological standpoint of what kind of effect is that going to have on us as people if these are the idols that we look up to, I am a grown man who thinks very consciously for myself and about what I'm doing, what I'm consuming, what I'm being. And so for me, when I see them, or these things, I can make the difference, right? I can say, well, it's just the song, and that's cool, it's fine, it's whatever. But to the young kids, to the people who don't think consciously like that, we kind of subconsciously adopt the idea that this is how I'm supposed to be, right? When you see somebody put that out and they rack up 110 million views in a week, you think, well, maybe that's the way success is found, right? Or this is the type of character that is valued in our society. And we're going to find out if that's true. I don't know. You know what I mean? Maybe that is what we value in society going forward, and maybe that's a good thing. I don't know. I'm definitely here for it regardless, right? But I personally don't think that has to be the only way, and I've seen this time and time again with really good tools and ideas that get perverted and become Not that. So like, let's look at rap music in the early 90s and before, right? Like, these guys came out and they were talking about killing and shooting and we still do, right? Walk them down, walk them down. Like, that's a song about chopping somebody down with an AK-47 or like a machine gun. And, you know, that just doesn't seem like some type of idea we want to proliferate in our society. It's like, it's cool to walk people down with a machine gun till you kill them. But the people who were making that music, when they came out, they said, look, this is real life. Like, this is my life. Like, you don't like it and it makes you uncomfortable because, well, guess what? I live this every day. And I could feel that. You know, I say, well, look, I mean, that's expression. I talk about my life. You talk about your life. You know, if you're the president, you come out and talk about how you was raised, you know, Christian white man or what. Not all presidents are Christian white men, but I'm just saying, like, if you lived a conservative life, then you talk from your conservative point of view. And if that's the worldview, then it's okay. But if you come out and you talk about your point of view and it's a contrary point of view, well, then you're a weirdo or you should be somehow oppressed or whatever. All right. So I don't agree with that. But is that the case now? Like, we got young kids like YB and Namir was the first one I started realizing. I was like, bro, you've never shot a gun in your life. You know what I mean? Like, you've never had to live that life, but here you are still waving the guns in the music video and like walking around acting like you, like that's your life, you know? You never sold drugs. Why you walk around like you got drug dealer money? What is that? Well, that's what we do. We idolize our heroes. Why I start playing basketball? Just today. Why do you think that happened? Because we idolize our heroes, right? So I now have Michael Jordan as my hero now, right? I'm like looking up to this man, mostly for his mindset, but then that got me into basketball and I started watching other people draining threes and fucking doing shit. I was like, man, that would be fun to be able to do that too. I wish I could, bang, you know? And so now I'm out there trying to do it, right? And that's how you see these young kids coming up in the rap music these days too, is like they're trying to emulate their heroes from the past who are really talking about their real life. And now you're just emulating that because you think that that is cool, or that's the way you gotta be, or that's the way coolness happens, you know? Monkey see, monkey do. That's how we all are, right? It's like, I seen you come up on that, and so I think I should try that to come up on that. I seen you come up on the face tattoos, so maybe I should try the face tattoos, or you know, get the colorful hair, or you know, whatever. It's like, that becomes the new standard and the new norm. And this is the part that a lot of conservatives are worried about. And even me, I wouldn't even necessarily, I mean, I'm finding myself more conservative as I get older. I think that just happens naturally, right? But I think more how I get more like intellectual too, I think that just comes with the part of the territory. But I would never call myself a conservative. Like, I don't care. Like I said, I'm liberal in the idea that I think everybody should be able to live the life that they want to, whatever that may be. I don't care. So if you want to come out and you want to throw the money, this is the point I'm trying to get at. If you want to come out and you want to throw the money, right? Like, I've thrown money. Like you said, you see the pictures of me being like, hey, I got $5,000. It was $5,000 in cash, which I was excited. I've never had $5,000 in cash. Is that a lot of money? I don't know, right? But what do I want to do? Want to act like the people that I see on the TV. So I throw my money around and it's fun, right? But I also have a conscious understanding that didn't make me cooler. You see what I'm saying? Like that didn't impress anybody. It's a joke. It was a joke, right? But not everybody thinks that. You know, some people really think that is a barometer of who they are as a person, right? Some people really think that they're going to have to match that level of vulgarity so that they can be seen in the world or respected. Okay? I see this in all kinds of things, guys. I found it myself. You start smoking weed one day, and then 10 years later, you have to smoke weed. Like, if you don't smoke weed, then you're not going to have a good day, or you're pissed off, or you're not as cool as you normally are. You have anxiety or something. It's like, that's not the case. You know what I mean? None of that's the case. And so I worry that we proliferate these images so much that people begin to think that that's how they're supposed to be or how they have to be in order to be successful or okay or cool, right? And that is not the case. That's not the case. Everybody likes different things. Some people, like, I'm actually a very flashy person. So I used to always get called conceited. You guys see, I flex my body all the time. I'm like showing, you know what I mean? I show off in my athletic abilities. This is fine. It's fine to want to boost the things you do cool in the world or that you like about yourself in the world. That's fine. That's fine. I think it should happen. I think more people should put themselves on a pedestal, if you will, or put themselves on display. But I just want everybody to understand that it does not make you who you are. It doesn't make you cooler to the world. It doesn't have to be that way for you to be successful. You know, people find success in a million different ways. I see girls all the time, guys and all this, to talk about how it's cool to have tattoos. You know, like if people are like, oh, it's cool to have. I'm just not really a tattoo kind of guy. It's not for me. You know, I got one tattoo and see it. I don't even know. It's over here. Okay, I got this tattoo when I was like 18 years old, just because I like to try things, because you never know if you're gonna like it or not until you try it. So I tried it, and I realized, take it or leave it. Like, who cares? Like, what do I need these shapes on my body for? You know. But I do want another one. I'm gonna get another piece on this side because I want a phoenix. So it's like, you know, because I want it for me personally, but it's not about the image that I'm portraying to other people, and that's the last bit I'll make about this, right? For me, I don't care. Like, if you are that, like, I truly believe that's who, like, Cardi B's being herself. She's very much like that, you know? She's very much like, you know? And so, like, some people are, like that. And, like, so be that, you know? But this is when people put the other pressure on people to be like, well, you're a role model and you have to take that seriously. Well, you do, kind of, you know, and I guess you don't have to, but you should. You should think about that, because I think about it constantly. This, like, how I present myself or how I act as a role model for others. You know, so I hold myself to an extreme high standard, higher than it needs to be, right? But I do that because, like, I know people are looking up to me to set the standard, and so I want to set a good one. But you got to do things for yourself. So, again, when I get the money, it's funny to me. It's cool. I was just going to buy a car, right? That's all I'm doing, right? And you'll see me do it again. I went the other day and I went shopping. I don't go shopping very often, so I went shopping and I was excited. I share it. I'd be like, look at me shopping. Ha, ha, ha. Right? And it's fine. But, I thought I misspelled the hypocrite. Do you think people portray an image in order to push their prerogative? Their own, like, agenda. But, no, that's my point. Sometimes it's people get so concerned about trying to look like the thing of the thing, right? Trying to look cool, trying to look successful, trying to stand out by being vulgar or whatever, right? And I think that that's a flop. That's me. I just think that's a flop. I think that leads to not a happy internal state because you're trying to live for somebody else. You know, people today don't even seem, like Gary Vee talks about this a lot. It's like we look down on the idea of just having a $70,000 job. And I used to do this. I used to look down on the idea of being like middle class. I was like, nah, I want that rich life. You know, I want to be able to like do this and that, blah, blah. That's fine, you know, but like I had to change my mind. Like I was like, but why am I like acting like I'll be somehow better than the people who choose to live a $50,000 lifestyle and, you know, just have a nice family and they just go to work every day and they do their thing. That's not somehow a lesser role, right? It's like trying to change that conversation, understand that like we don't all have to be Cardi B's, okay? We don't all have to be popping on social media. We don't all have to be rich. We don't all have to wear a Patek or dye our hair a certain color. That's why I often tell people, don't try and get like my body, right? Like, don't feel like you gotta come out and like, this is not the standard for the way that you're supposed to look, right? I don't know what you want to, like, this is what I want to do. This is how I want to be. I don't know. Some of you out there, like Lizzo, for example, I love when she talks about that shit. She's like, this is how I am and this is how I want to be. You do that, girl. You look great. I love you. I appreciate that. You know, nothing worse than watching somebody like getting fit to my level, not because they hate it. They hate working out. They hate eating clean. They hate the lifestyle, but they doing it because they think that that's how they need to be to impress me or impress the world, right? That's not the case at all. You know, I find that to be the case. So you got to be careful. Like, understand that these people are creating your culture, right? And the culture, we will all try to, it'll affect us in that way. We'll look at these people and think that this is the standard, right? And that, like they said now, that Cardi B and Meg Thee Stallion are somehow the antithesis of women empowerment. That might not be the case for you. That might not be the case for you, right? Maybe you are that type of person, and so that's your role model, you know? But I think we all gotta just be careful and understand how these things are playing on our own subconscious mind, right? I am aware of that, and so sometimes I listen to rap music. It's my favorite type of music, so I listen to it, and it inspires me sometimes, and sometimes it doesn't, you know? But I consciously make an effort to know the difference and to understand how these things are acting on me, right? Like, that's why I do things like, hey, maybe I should step away from social media sometimes, right? Why? Is that because I don't know, but sometimes I gotta know. Like, I need to be like, yo, maybe this isn't the best way to take care of my kid or myself, you know? Maybe this isn't, you know, whatever. Like, everybody's like, oh, no, it's cool. You wouldn't play that song in church. I know it. You wouldn't play that song for your 4-year-old daughter. Your 4-year-old daughter come in the room and she's like, you fucking with some wet ass pussy. Yeah, you fucking, and then we wonder why people are touching our kids. You see what I'm saying? It's like, it's not just because it's happening or it's like these people are doing it, it doesn't mean that that's like the standard and that everybody's got to do it. So these are my ideas. That's why I think that people are coming at them for that type of song and stuff. It's because that is shaping the minds of mostly young kids, you know? I've seen this happen with the Bible. The Bible does this to people. You know, people don't understand how like Jesus is a role model. Your pastors and the stories in the Bible, you can model yourself after that. And that's why you over here trying to stone gay people, because you took that story too literally. You see? So it's like, it can happen to us in any form, in conservatism, in lacks of conservatism. So with all that being said, society is going to be society. You can't control that. I can't control Cardi B. I can't control y'all. I can't control social media. So don't try, you know, don't try. Let everything be what it's going to be, but you definitely need to consider for yourself and decide for yourself where my boundaries are. You know, nobody's going to tell you what to listen to. Nobody's going to tell you what to read. Nobody's going to tell you how much is enough time on social media or not enough time. Nobody's going to tell you what heroes to pick or none of that. So be consciously always making an effort to filter those things for yourself, right? And really decide for yourself, you know, even the things you do. Like, if you're flexing out there and you're flexing the money, ask yourself, is it for me or is it for these people, right? Am I trying to impress these people, or is this making me feel good? You know, like they said, a lot of us, I don't think those chains are comfortable. You know, I don't think you actually do enjoy wearing those things. You know, will you see me get a chain? You're damn right. I'm gonna get me a nice little blingy Rodtheplanter tree thing for myself, because I think it's cool. It's gonna be nice and comfortable. It's gonna be something I like and I dig. And I don't care. Like, I'll still step out bummy. One of the reasons I chose to have an all black outfit was because I didn't want to always be under the pressure of trying to flex out what I'm wearing, you know? So it's like, if I just have all black, then I could be wearing really nice shit or not nice shit or whatever, and it doesn't even matter, you know? So just, if you feel like you have to do those things, this for my ladies right here, my ladies, you do not have to wear makeup. You know, I see this all the time. That's another idea that begins in this way and then peripheralates. Is like, this is the standard for you as a woman now. It's like, you can, I watch my girl, I'll be like, she's late for work, and I'm like, well, just don't put your makeup on and all that shit. Just, you know, get out of here. And she's like, no, I gotta put my makeup on. Well, why? Well, it's part of being presentable and all this stuff. I'm like, no, it's not. It's not at all. That's a personal choice. Ain't nobody out here. There's no laws requiring the wearing of makeup. it's not like you're not impressing nobody. Like I was like, what you got a man's at work, or like what is this? You know what I mean? Like, who are you trying to impress at work? Like, I don't get it. Not that I care if she had a man's at work, but I was just like, who exactly are you trying to impress? And she's like, well, nobody. Then you just what? Then just don't wear the makeup. It's not, you know what I mean? So it happens to us, guys. You really gotta think about that. Like, I'm in shape this way because I want to be, not because I think that I'm somehow a better person for being that. You know what I mean? I'm making money right now. Lots of it. Not because I think it's the cool thing to do or that I have to. It's something I want to do. So do you. That's my point. Do you. Be you. If you fucking with the song, then you're fucking with the song. And I dig it. Do the dance. You know what I mean? If you gotta flex, if you 8 chain type of dude, then wear your 8 chains. Like, who am I? I don't care. You want to dye your hair purple? You want to be transgender, or you want to dye your skin white, or you want to hate white people, or you want to vote for Biden or Trump, or I don't care. You know what I mean? Do whatever it is you gotta do. Whatever it is you feel like you gotta do it. But I hope you know why you're doing what you gotta do, right? And I hope that you're deciding it's not, you're not becoming a slave to it. I think about that all the time. Choose, I went back to smoking weed, Y'all saw I quit. I quit for like 3 weeks. And then I was like, like I like my weed in my D part of my day, but I don't like it A, B, C, and D. I used to do it first thing I woke up all through my day, and that wasn't like a benefit to me. I was like, you know what, maybe just in the D part of my day, it's nice to just unwind with a little spliffy or a little bowl or whatever. But I don't have to do it, so it's like come D and I ain't got no weed. I'm not over here like, about to be a bad part of my day now because I ain't got the, it's cool. It's what it is. It is what it is. Like, so it's something that I'm letting enhance my life, but it's not something I'm letting control my life. So same with all that stuff, with the WAP, with the money, with the chains. No hypocrisy, no judgment here. I'ma do me. I'ma flex when I want to flex. I'ma not when I'm not. And if I can't flex, then I'm still gonna come out here and smile. I'm still gonna think I'm the shit, regardless of if you think I'm the shit. I walk around like I got 2 million followers, and your boy ain't even crossed 2,000 yet. So it's like, don't get caught up in all that stuff. You feel me? Don't get caught up in all that. And that's the only thing I worry about for you and for the rest of the world, is that we don't think that we have to be that way in order to be cool, respected, or on top of the game. Okay? So that is, I hope that's of some benefit to you. I just wanted to clear that up because I thought about it a lot after I posted it, and just, like I said, I try and keep my opinion. Well, I don't try and keep my opinions to myself. That's why I put them on my podcast, That way, it doesn't get misconstrued in what I'm trying to do here, which is help you better your life. And that has nothing to do with my opinions or yours. So, I love you so much, and I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day. Hey, shout out Pappy the Planter coming in and showing love. I love you, Dad.